Toshihara Kano. Tosh was not yet born when the Hiroshima blast occurred. His sister, brother, and mother, who was 3 months pregnant with him, lived within 1/2 mile of the hypocenter of the atomic bomb dropped there. They miraculously survived the concussion force of the nuclear winds and the ensuing firestorm. Toshihara was born 7 months later in March 1946 at just over 3 pounds. Having survived immune deficiencies in childhood, he came to America, graduated from the University of Utah, go Utes, and made a successful career as a civil engineer. Tosh, come on up. After some brief remarks, Tosh will be joined by our district governor for a quick conversation.
Actually, according to the program, I have 1 minute to talk to you history for 130 years. So I'm going to give you just a very, very small portion of my story, because it will take 45 to an hour and a half to tell you all. I was born in Hiroshima, and I have the hardest time saying your club's name. My wife asked me, "Where are you going?" So I said, "Lottery Club." And you know what she said? She said, "Oh, I didn't think the Utah permitted lottery." Since I came here in 1961 at age 15, my tongue is too stiff. I even took a special speech class to say difference between L and R's. I cannot do it. So excuse me. But I'm going to tell you, August 6, 1945 was beautiful Monday morning. Not a speck of cloud in the sky. And 3 B-29 came into the city. One took off to the right, and 2 continued to come into the city. And of course, one of them was Enola Gay, and the other one was called Necessary Evil. I don't know how they come up with that name. But Enola Gay dropped the bomb 3 feet in diameter, 10 feet long, weighed 10,000 pounds. It's obvious you cannot just open the bomb bay and drop the bomb. It will go too fast. So they have to drop it in climb, in an angle, with a parachute. They needed 42 seconds to get out of that area. And my friend of ours, Colonel Kubota, he was a commanding officer of the 5th Army headquarters. He noticed a Chinese object coming into the city. So immediately it got his attention. He took his binocular, looking at this shiny object. It was B-29. Beautiful plane, shiny. And one of the plane dropped something, puff of smoke. That's what he thought. But it was a parachute attached to a bomb. It took 42 seconds before detonated 1,900 feet above the ground. And impact was horrendous. 15 square miles was destroyed beyond recognition. 80,000 people perished that day or soon after, and 245,000 people died by end of 1945. Please don't ask me how we happened to survive. We were only 2,400 feet from the center. And I was inside of my mother. All these years, I wonder why I survived. Because as you know, ladies, when you got pregnant, the doctor will tell you, don't fall, don't get in an accident, you're going to miscarry your baby. Not right? My mother got hit with 10,560 feet per second concussion force, and I was in there. Let me tell you why I survived. I finally figured it out. 12 weeks was a magic number. Doctor told me, Tosh, I don't know how you did it, but 12 weeks, your DNA is completed. Your body is small enough, so when she got hit on the tummy, all you did is swish around. But if you're 8 or 10 weeks old, you've been born deformed. But if you're 12 or 16 weeks old, you're too heavy. You became like a bullet and killed her and killed yourself. But 12 weeks was a magic number. You see, I was meant to be here. I have tried to kill myself many times over because in Japan, educational system is so strict. Everything is memorization. Would you believe you had to memorize 75,000 characters by age 12? I was off 100 days out of 300 days of school. Every time I got back to the school, I was so far behind, I had lost will to study. No use. There's no way I could catch up. I had to memorize that week's, but I had to memorize last week. My math score, the best math score that I ever got, you know what that score was? 42% out of 100. English, I flunked it. So they used to call me hopeless. You're so stupid. You're hopeless. Why don't you kill yourself? Do your family a favor. The honorable thing you could do is kill yourself. I couldn't do it. I tried. And my father got so upset with me because I couldn't kill myself. He said, "You're not a man. You're a woman. I'm so ashamed of you." So you could imagine, when I was growing up, I was sick, I got peer pressure and the family pressure. So when my father said, we're going to come to the United States, you know what I said? Hooray! I love those American ladies. I didn't tell my father that. But when I was 8 years old, I already made up my mind. If I ever have a chance to go to America, I'm going to marry an American girl. I got my wish. You know, we were married for 40 years with one son of my own. I didn't think I could get my son because when I was in Japan, I was told, you are untouchable. You're damaged. You're going to have an unhealthy child. And I firmly believe that. So I told my wife right after we got married, and I said, you need to be ready because when you get pregnant, it's possibility that we may have unhealthy child. And she said, well, you're going to have to go to the doctor. You're going to have to get the sperm count because I don't want to have an unhealthy child. So I went to Dr. Hashimoto. And you know what he said? Take this cup and go in the bathroom and work on yourself. You know, it took me a long time. I couldn't do it standing up. But I finally got it done. And the doctor looked at it under the microscope. He said, Tosh, I hate to tell you this. I have never seen such a healthy sperms and so many of them. I think you got about 4 times more than normal. You could populate the entire earth. So I came back and I told my wife, I said, well, I better watch out for you. Anyway, I don't have a scar to prove to you that I was exposed to the A-bomb. But I tell you, when I was born, that my nightmare started. I was not able to fight off the disease. I got tuberculosis. I lost 20% of my left lung. I had rheumatic fever. I had mumps 7 times. Do you believe that? I could never get rid of that stupid thing. I had kidney failure. I passed kidney stone at age 6. When I went to the bathroom, I got nothing but blood. It hurt so bad, I was afraid to go to the bathroom again. So I tried to hold it as best as I can, but I didn't succeed. And then 1987, my worst nightmare. I lost my hearing on my left. So I went to a doctor, checked my hearing. I had a little bit left. So he gave me a hearing aid. So it was working for a while, but 2 months later, it stopped working. So I took the hearing aid back to the doctor and said, I'm on refund. This doesn't work. He said, well, before I do that, let me send it back to the manufacturer and check it out. So he did. The manufacturer came back, sent it back to us and said, there's nothing wrong with the hearing aid. I think it's your patient. So he gave me another test. Nothing. I could not hear a thing. So he said, this is a very unusual case. For someone to lose hearing, total hearing, within a month, we're going to have to send you to MRI. St. Mark's. And the result came back, and the doctor said, Tosh, I need to talk to you as soon as we can. So I went to the doctor's office, and he shut the door behind him, said, Tosh, I really hate to tell you, but you have a brain tumor in an inoperable position. There's nothing I could do for you. you're going to die in 3 months. I said, you got to be kidding. He said, no. And he showed me the MRI. Sure enough, there's a spot on the stem of my brain. He can't operate. I tell you, I know that I'm going to die someday, but nobody wants to be told how long you have. So I just devastated. I came back to my office and saw my secretary sitting there at the desk, just like Hubadam breaking loose. I just started crying. And the secretary wanted to know what's happening. Of course, I went in my office and shut the door. And the first thing I did, I called my wife. And she could tell that I was in distress. So she said, what happened? I said, I'm going to die in 3 months. You know what she said? That's one doctor's opinion. I'm going to get another opinion. See, she was a very strong woman. She would have been a very finest attorney you could ever think of. Did you know she wanted to be an FBI agent back in 1958? She showed up to the FBI office and they said, why are you here? She said, I want to be an agent. She said, you're a woman. Get out of here. So you can imagine, we came long ways. Anyway, so we got the second opinion 2 weeks later, and the doctor was very happy to talk to me. So I knew there was something wrong. So I went to his office. This is a different doctor, by the way. And then first thing he said, Tosh, you're not going to die. I said, what? You're not going to die? What happened to my tumor? Well, when we took the second time MRI, it's not there. So he showed me the second image. Sure enough, it's clear. So here I am. But you know, the greatest tragedy of the atomic bomb using it to human being is people, the survivors of Nagasaki and Hiroshima were shunned by people of Japan. If I stay there, if I didn't come to America, I would never been able to marry. I've never been able to have a child. I've never been able to have a good job. My sister is going to be 77 this year. She never got married. Back of her head, she knows she's damaged. And she told me one time, I'm not going to get married because I'm going to get unhealthy child. So see, psychological impact is horrendous. It's not just a physical scar, but psychological impact is unthinkable. And not only that, I do not know what's going to happen to my future generations, because apparently the radiation follow the generations in the future. The Atomic Energy Commission came to us in 1980, wanted me to become a living guinea pig. He said, for science, I want you to sign up for studying your body. I want to take your bone marrow once a year to study your bone structure and cell structure. In other words, I'm going to study what makes you tick? You know what my wife said? You like this. She said, I really honor your commitment, but he suffered enough. Please wait till he dies. We'll be happy to donate his body to you. So I didn't sign up. I wanted to, but she said no. But unfortunately, she passed away in 2008 after 40 years of marriage. You know, it just left a huge hole in my life. So my son said, "You gotta do something, Dad. Don't just stay home." I said, I don't drink. I don't go partying. He said, "I just got a things for you." I said, "What is it?" "I just put you in the eHarmony program." I said, "What's that?" "It's online dating." I said, "I don't want to do that." He said, "You like it." So I got on there. My God, I could not believe it. I mean, page after page of questions. I think after I finished, I think they knew all about me. Anyway, in 3 months, I got 700 hits. I didn't think I was that popular. But most of the ladies were out of the state. And I didn't want to establish a relationship with out-of-state people. So I kept looking for the local. And I finally found one. And she's the one that helped me to write the book. And I have some left. If somebody like it, we'll be happy to give it to you, okay? So thank you very much for this today.
Tosh, it's an honor. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tosh. We really appreciate you being here today. Thank you.